Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Ash Echoes. In today's video, we are going to take a look at the Nexus system. This is by far one of the most confusing things I've ever seen in a gacha game, if I'm being honest. This shit is just as confusing as Minesweeper. It's crazy. But for the Nexus system, I think I have a clear understanding as to what's going on. I don't fully understand, but I can actually explain why this feature is important and why you guys should participate in the Nexus system. So when you come over here to your growth reward in your engraving list, you guys can see that you can pretty much select characters, and once you select these units, you can simulate their grade, and then you can go through the Nexus system. Now, why is the Nexus system important? Now, the reason why it's important is because once you go through this, it's like an in-game roguelike type onto whatever, but you just select your character and there is 3 types up here. And these 3 types are actually important. I'm going to talk about that later, but you know, these 3 types, very important. You don't want to select a random character. That's like the biggest mistake you can make, is by selecting a random unit without following the unlock conditions. I'm going to talk about that later. But you pretty much select the character here, and then once you click confirm, you equip traces on the unit that you select. You guys can see I'm pretty much equipping these random traces. And then once you equip these traces, the game is going to give you an estimated engraving rate. So you guys can see that the estimated engraving rate for Begonia is B14. So once you click quick generate, I'm not going to click that because it's going to consume these blink chips. But once you click quick generate, it's going to send you to the Nexus system. It's going to send you to the Nexus, and you're pretty much going to fight enemies. You're going to receive stats. You're going to receive skills. You're going to receive a lot of buffs. So that's pretty much the Nexus system in a nutshell. Equip these memory traces. Once you equip them, you go through the Nexus and you pretty much upgrade these memory traces. So that's why it's very important, because in order for you to unlock the memory traces of skill effects or true potential, you have to go through the Nexus system in order for you to unlock the Nexus skills, the Nexus stats. But you guys can see right here, all these stats that I got for this memory trace behind the curtains, I got this through the Nexus. And that's why you guys definitely have to go through the Nexus in order for you to pretty much strengthen these memory traces. Now, when it comes to the basic stats like this right here, I mean, I think you can just increase it by leveling up the memory trace, and that's pretty much it. But that's all I got when it comes to memory traces. But when it comes to Nexus stats, Nexus skills, Trace Awakening, you do that through the Nexus system. Now, when I come back over here, the biggest mistake that I noticed is that most people, they would select random characters without following the unlock conditions. So if you look at this unlock condition, it says growth level B13 and total engraving rating 12,500. So in order for me to actually unlock this slot and to improve my overall engraving rate, I have to follow this condition. So it says the type is square. So therefore I come back to simulation. I'm coming to the square category, and I pretty much select a square type unit. If I were to select a triangle type unit, it's not going to unlock this condition right here. I'm not going to be able to, I think it's going to increase my engraving rate, but I don't think it's going to unlock this condition because I have to follow the type. So make sure that when you're going through the engraving list, select specific character that matches the unlock condition, right? And then you want to have at least a B13 growth level. That's for me. I have to have at least a B13 growth level in order for me to actually unlock this slot and improve my overall grade. So the highest grade for me right now is a 20 because of Mo. So therefore, I'm going to receive all of these rewards because of Mo. Like the fact that she's A20, I'm going to get all these rewards. If my highest grade was C6, then I wouldn't be able to get all these rewards. I would stop at D6 right here. So that's one of the main reasons why Nexus is important, is because these rewards are actually pretty good. Once you increase your overall engraving rate, whatever, you get these rewards. But the thing that I don't like is the fact that these rewards are time gated. So I can't get this reward until 10, like once the 10 hours are up, I can get these rewards. I don't like that. It's kind of lame overall, but that's pretty much how the growth reward system works. You improve your grade, you improve your grade, and then once you increase the grade, you get these rewards. Now you guys can see right here, I'm going to enter a battle and Mo is my leader. So all the stats that Mo received through the Nexus, the whole team is going to receive the additional stat and bonuses. So if I click Mo, right, I click this right here, the details, you guys can see she has Blessing Zone, Decay Domain, Successful Cover, a right hand man diamond, coordinated summon, battle coordination. So these are all the buffs that I received through the Nexus, and these are the traces that I used as well. Now when it comes to the traces, so the thing is, you can't switch out your traces for the character that you selected in the Nexus. Whichever trace that you equipped on that character, that's going to stay on that character, and you cannot switch it unless you pretty much go through the Nexus again and do another simulation. So if I want to change the traces for Mo, I have to go back to the Nexus, re-equip the traces, and then go through the roguelike mode, and then the traces are going to be permanent, and I'm going to receive the buff effects from the new traces that I put on Mo. So I will say that is kind of annoying, the fact that you have to continuously, you know, re-simulate these characters and re-equip these traces just so that they can have a new trace and new effects. So that's one thing I don't like. But whichever leader that you choose, these are the buffs that, like, whichever leader you choose for your specific team comp or your lineup, your team is going to receive specific buffs that the character has. So let's say I switch to Begonia. You look at the buffs that Begonia has. She has Shadow Shield, Successful Cover, Coordinated Summon, Frost Resonance, Barrier Fire, and Decay Domain. So these are all the effects I got from Begonia when I went through her Nexus trial. So yeah, that right there is very important. You guys can see that these were the traces that I equipped on her. And like I said, in order for you to, you know, improve your traces and make them stronger, you have to go through the Nexus. It's a requirement. If you don't, then like your traces are going to be weak as hell and your team is not going to be that strong. So the Nexus system, it is a requirement. You have to go through it. So I'm going to go back to Mo right here. We're going to start battle. All right, let's go ahead and skip this. I didn't pay attention to the story because I don't really care that much. But we're going to enter this fight, and you guys are pretty much going to see all the buff effects that I received from the Nexus, and she's going to apply that to the team. So you guys can see right here, these are pretty much the stats that Mo received in the Nexus, and this is applying to the whole team overall. So let's go ahead and just reorganize the team. And by the way, I'm running a fire team comp. Oh, this team is fun as hell. So you see it says Seed Charge, right? So all the buff effects are going to activate right here. And the buff effects are not only applying to Mo, they're applying to the whole team. So whichever unit you choose for the Nexus, that character is pretty much a representative of your overall team comp, like your overall team, like your overall characters. That unit is a representative. So Mo, think of her as like a representative to pretty much apply all the buffs that she received in the Nexus to your allies. So it doesn't matter which character you use, whichever buffs you receive, whichever skills you receive, that's going to apply to your whole team. There we go. Now you guys can see how fun this team is, by the way. This team is fun as hell. Fire team comp is actually pretty good, but I am planning on building a summoner team comp once I get Sin from her banner. I think I'm currently at, I did lose the 50-50 to Mo, but this time I am going to get that guaranteed 50-50. I'm going to win the guarantee of 50-50, so therefore I'm going to get that Sin and build the summoner team comp. And when it comes to the Inspire stacks, now this right here, I don't understand the Inspire stacks. It says the engraving skill is marked as Inspire skill, can provide an Inspire effect to all Echo Managers in the team when certain conditions are met. I don't know what the conditions are, but it is what it is, man. I have no fucking idea, man. That part right there is still confusing as hell. But when it comes to the Nexus system, I understand it a lot. It's just the Inspire skill thing, still a little bit confusing to me. But look at all these buff effects that Mo is pretty much activating for the whole team. As you can see right here, we have Unstoppable. So many buffs. Got the ultimate. Like, look at this look at this whole battlefield, man. It's covered with fire. Man, the fire team comp is insane, not gonna lie. It's really good for like damage over time. Alright, let's go ahead and just activate her ultimate. Go. Man, Freda is so cracked, man. If you guys haven't checked out my Freda video, make sure you check it out. She is such a good unit. And there we go, we got Mo's ultimate. Her ultimate is very good because she creates a huge field of fire, which is very good for elemental reactions. But that's pretty much a clear right there. So all those buff effects that you guys saw on the side of the screen, those were the buff effects I received from the Nexus, and Mo is that representative, and she's activating the buff for the whole team. So hopefully you guys actually understand what I said. Hopefully it's not a bunch of yapping to you guys. But to put it in simple terms, in order for you to make your team stronger, in order for you to make your account stronger, just simply progress through the Nexus, select whichever character you want, but make sure it's a specific type and you're following the unlock conditions. And once you do that, you're going to equip traces on that character, and make sure you actually choose good traces. Don't choose garbage traces. That's the worst thing you could possibly do, because if I choose a rare trace, this trace is going to be permanently stuck on that character unless I go back to the Nexus and pretty much re-equip new traces. So make sure you choose the right traces, and once you select these right traces, then the game is going to give you a grade, and then you enter the Nexus so that you can pretty much increase that grade. So you can increase your overall growth level, and you can get more rewards. So you guys can see right here, not Mo, but what's that girl's name? Begonia isn't in the engraving list because she didn't follow the unlock condition. So therefore, unlock conditions, very important. This is a huge mistake that I see most people make. They don't follow the unlock conditions and they just choose a random type character. Follow the unlock condition, follow the type, the class type, and actually read it so that you'll know what's going on, and you'll be able to make your account stronger. So hopefully I was able to help you guys understand what the fuck is going on in this game. And if you guys have any more questions, ask them in the comment section down below. I would gladly answer those questions for you guys. But if it's something to do with the Inspired skill, don't even fucking ask me. I don't know what is going on with that. But with the engraving rating, I understand it perfectly fine. Like, I actually understand this. It's time gated, because a lot of people did ask me how do you unlock these rewards. It's time gated. You just have to be patient. But that's pretty much it. Make sure you guys go ahead, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't. I really appreciate it, and I'll be catching you guys on the next one. Peace.